Hello YouTube, this is Ben Gussel. This is going to be my last video for tonight. Tomorrow's Father's Day. A little late here, I know, but I thought in this video I'd focus on some of my favorite comedians and comic actors. So I'm not talking about just stand-up comedians. I'm talking about anybody who likes to play funny roles and things in movies. So, without any further ado, here we go. So, this is in no particular order, by the way. It's not like my favorite and so on and so forth. But I have picked 8 comic actors and comedians that I know I can whenever they're in a movie, in any movie, I can watch it without feeling like I have to grimace. So they're both really funny and they're clean. So first one, of course, Bill Murray. Bill Murray is a given. He's one of the funniest comedians or comic actors of all time. I'd say top 10 best. And for me, it's also a given. If Bill was in the right mood, he's older now, but he's in the right mood, and if he had the energy to, if he wanted to be, because sometimes nobody can always be really whatever, but like Bill is the sort of person that I would really, I think, love to just be around. But again, if he's in that social mood, absolutely. You kind of need to be like, you need to have something wrong with you if you don't like Bill. Really, he just has a huge heart. He's really has a very kind personality. He's a fun-loving guy, very spontaneous, and he's for me. He may be my favorite comedian, if not top 3. Yeah, so I love Bill Murray. I think everything he's any movie he's in, I'll watch anything, and Bill Murray is absolutely number one. Bill Murray. So I can't stress that enough. Just you don't even have to. Groundhog Day is a dramatic movie. It's got some funny moments. You just watch Meatballs or Ghostbusters. There's plenty of other ones to choose from. Caddyshack. Okay, John Candy. I know John maybe isn't quite as funny as Bill. He's the big boy, right? He's the big chubby guy. John Candy is it's the big boy Canadian guy, right? So he's using Canadian bacon, yeah. He's in a bunch of movies, Spies Like Us with Bill Murray, and Harold Ramis was in there too, and all those guys, that's a group of guys that are all connected. And trains, planes, and automobiles, whatever, with Steve Martin and is it Summer Vacation, Summer Rental, or Summer Vacation one too? And there's the Great Outdoors, right? And so he's been in a lot of movies where he plays this big clod, or just the guy that's likable but just annoying enough in his fat man kind of way to just get. Or he's an Uncle Buck, right? So and then of course other times he plays this dad who's just at his wit's end, trying to have give his family a good time, maybe he's just kind of old-fashioned. I love John Candy too. I mean, both those guys. I could watch anything by those guys, and I mean, they have it down. Bill has something. Just I don't know. I know Bill may be funnier, but John Candy is a great guy. Really funny too. Really funny. So John Belushi. I know a lot of people think, okay, he was essentially the number one at Saturday Night Live, SNL. He's probably number one comedian there of all time. And yes, a lot of people know him for being in the Blues Brothers with Dan Aykroyd and Animal House. And actually, there's some other ones I'm not thinking of right now, but John, like Bill, both Bill Murray and John Belushi are very similar in a way where you feel like your cares are just to go away when they're around. Like you don't. It just help you feel. It's they draw you in, right? They're just like a really friendly personality, and you sense it immediately. And he's fun. He's a really fun guy. But I feel like I'm very inadequate when I'm trying to talk about, comedy. It's not really my thing, but it's something where John had a very instinctive or an immediate grasp on personality and culture and behaviors and facial expressions and things. And he had this eyebrow raise thing that just, yeah, I can't do it, but I cannot do it. But he just, he just knew how to play certain parts. he just I don't know. I just had that spark, I don't know. Yeah, Bill Murray and John Belushi should have made a lot more movies together, and they have in a way a similar kind of humor about them. Although of course John was more physical, perhaps, and Bill was more. I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe Bill Murray's humor, but it's not too different from John's, but I don't know. Anyway, not really sarcastic, but it's I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, so a very different comedian, Bill Cosby. I think Bill Cosby for me was just kind of one of those feel-good guys. Maybe he shouldn't be as highly ranked as some of these guys, but okay. I mean, I include a lot of different folks down here. Maybe I won't get to that train of thought. It's just, I guess, that so he wasn't necessarily one of the funniest comedians to me, but he was certainly okay. Yes, I know. Like many other people, it's very wholesome, right? It's very wholesome. But I like Fat Albert. I mean, I think it's just, yeah. Again, it makes you feel kind of at ease. So that's the way of putting it. And very, very wise, kind of person. Martin Short, goofy guy, kind of like in a way Jim Carrey, but I think Martin Short, of course, even more of him, of course. I mean, as a person, he's just an amazing guy, and I would love to spend some time with Martin Short. Absolutely, Pure Luck is one of my favorite movies. And of course with Steve Martin, that was the father of the bride. I think was the or something like that. It was a wedding movie, but anyway. Yeah. And there's some other ones he's been in. Of course, Steve Martin. Now again, Steve Martin isn't necessarily as funny as Bill Murray or John Belushi. With these favorite comedians, really the big two here are Bill Murray and John Belushi. Martin Short's actually pretty funny too. Pretty not funny too. But Bill and John are the heavyweights so far. Steve Martin, I don't think he can compete those two, but he had his things I liked, and I think it was the exaggerated facial expressions and physical movements, but in a kind of a jaunty, geeky kind of way. He had a variety of things he did well. He was high energy, a little bit like Danny Kaye. Steve Martin. So yeah, sure. Rick Moranis, I know again he's probably not one of the big boys here, but again, very wholesome guy, really just funny in his one way. Played very good geeky characters, like in Ghostbusters, right? And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, Jim Belushi I also have here because a lot of people can critique me, whatever. I don't know if these really particularly, again, they're not in order, but a lot of the qualities that John had, Jim also has. But I think Jim just, I don't know, maybe didn't quite have the same level of humor. Really, the big two guys here, Bill Murray and John Belushi. Those are probably my two favorite comedians of all time, for me personally. Like, I could watch anything from those guys. Anything. Yeah. Okay, so there's some others that I think are pretty cool, but I, don't quite. Many of these guys are not always 100%. I don't always give a thumbs up 100 all the time for these guys. So Jim Carrey is, of course, we know who Jim Carrey is. Of course, the Mask. He's up there. He's just kind of got a little bit nutty in more later years, and I think that's one of my only reservations about him. High energy, fun guy. I mean, if I talk to him, I'm sure he'd be fine. But Jim has a real beef with conservatives and Republicans for some reason. I don't know. And he's a little bit odd nowadays. I don't know. I can't explain it very well. But he has an emotional side, which I think is nice. He actually is somebody that I think fairly well of. Again, I don't know why he had to get so political, but who knows. Dan Aykroyd. So, actually, the thing is, with Dan, just like, he fits right in there with Bill and John. So, Bill Murray, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd. Absolutely. And John Candy, that whole group. There's the Second City comedy, whatever, in Canada, I don't know. And I know he's, so it's the same kind of group there. And to me, Dan, kind of like Steve Martin, John Candy, he isn't one of the big names. But, I think for what he does well. And of course, he plays the straight man very, very well with these other goofy guys. Yeah, okay, like the Dragnet, right? And in Houston Ghostbusters, he played the straight man there. And he also does the Wheeler and Dealer guy, and the Chris Farley, David Spade, movies. All kinds of other roles, the Coneheads, and I don't know. So, actually, I like Dan as a person, probably even more than as a comedian. But he's a pretty funny guy too. But I think very highly of Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, as a person, he's really cool. He's a really cool guy. Nice guy. Dana Carvey. I just haven't seen him a whole lot. I haven't. He really is associated with SNL very deeply, and I just haven't seen him outside of Wayne's World, right? His George Bush impression, and I just I don't feel like I just don't understand. I'm not as familiar with Dana Carvey, but I know he's a funny guy. He's a really cool guy, as far as I can tell. So of course, associated with Dana Carvey is Mike Myers from Wayne's World, but of course, Mike Myers, you see him in all kinds of movies, including Duds, right? Yes, Austin Powers, and there's especially Austin Powers, but yeah. And the Love Guru, right? I don't know. And then the Cat in the Hat, and there's some other ones I'm forgetting that are actually a little bit better. Anyway, so Mike, well, kind of like some of these other guys here, Mike just talks a little bit more about. He does more of his comedy is about a little bit more off-color stuff on occasion, like Austin Powers, and so of course that's why a lot of people don't think as well of him. I don't know. He's middle of the road to me. He's okay. I mean, you'd be fine to talk to, of course, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just what you think is funny. I mean, look, um, someone like Mel Brooks from earlier generations, somewhat, is similar to Mike in his humor, which he's not always very. Really kind of, yeah, he gets into the dirty stuff a bit more. Mike, even in some respects, maybe even more than Mel. Well, it just depends, but I don't know. It just depends, but. And Mel Brooks there's very clear, um, what's the word, Borscht Belt, the old world Jewish or the earlier vaudeville kind of entertainer thing about him. But yeah, the Borscht Belt was like the upstate New York area where a lot of comedians, particularly, especially a lot of Jewish comedians would entertain people and vacation and stuff. But anyway, that's even like back to vaudeville days. That was so Mel Brooks gets a little bit of a mention here, but I'm just I'm kind of familiar with this older. I'll talk about some other earlier comedians here in a bit, but anyway, okay, so you have Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal, I think again better of him probably as a person for I know than he's not really especially funny guy. He's again one of those guys that just makes you feel more at ease. In a way, he's a little bit like Rodney Dangerfield, and I've never really seen Rodney Dangerfield. I haven't seen Dangerfield in any movies except for a high school type related movie, and of course Caddyshack. So again, Rodney Dangerfield's a little bit early generation. Again, that Borscht Belt thing, But Billy Crystal has a similar kind of thing about him, kind of like John Lovitz, right? There's all these guys that I'm not just saying not just the Jewish community, but yes, there's kind of a similar kind of thing going on with their just really relaxed, wisecracking kind of thing, right? Billy Crystal, again, I think even better of him probably than his humor, but he helps you feel more at ease, right? One of those kinds of guys. Chris Farley, of course, everyone says he was the new John Belushi. Yeah, he kind of was, but yeah, I think he was so big and a little taller. He had almost I wouldn't say he's John Goodman, but he had more of John Goodman's height about him. Belushi was big, but not quite as tall. Chris Farley's a big boy, big boy, and funny. But I don't know. Wasn't quite as razor sharp in terms of his comedic wit. I think compared to John Belushi. But I mean, Farley was pretty funny. I mean, I think he's one of the funnier guys out, definitely. Of course, some of his humor, of course, with David Spade stuff isn't so hot. I didn't even list David Spade in here because he's not terrible, but he's really not very good. Yeah. Nah, I'm not really a huge Spade fan. Not really. I don't know, maybe I could be a little bit easier on it, but okay. So then you have Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell, some would say. Sorry, I almost sneeze here. Will Ferrell, some would say, would probably be one of the top 10 funniest guys of all time. Comedians, comic actors. Not just the stand-up guys, but that's I know it's going to be kind of a similar, related but different thing. I'd say Will Ferrell is top. If he isn't top 10, then top 20 or 15. He really is one of the best. And his timing is impeccable. And, it's like, he's just, he really is like a first-rate comedian, one of the funniest guys, absolutely. Again, not always one of the cleanest, but he does impressions like it's nobody's business. In fact, there's some other guys who do good impressions. Oh, Italian name guy. I keep forgetting his name. Anyway, there's some other guys that do really good impressions, of course, but Will Ferrell is amazing, just amazing in that regard. Amazing. But so he's so spot on. He knows exactly what to exaggerate. I mean, just a fine tune. And then of course he's just a really goofy guy. He's got a little bit of the Chris Farley mixed with the wit and the mental sharpness of Bill Murray and John Belushi. I mean, that's why he's so good. He's like, I mean, Will is, yeah. So I certainly like Elf and a lot of other movies. But I'm just not the biggest fan of Zooey Deschanel. I don't know. She's weird, different. I don't know. Anyway. So, okay. So you have Jon Lovitz. I mentioned, I'm not the most knowledgeable person in this regard, but there is kind of that Jewish, almost like a family of comedians, right? And you have also even guys like the Buddy guy. Anyway, he's not that funny. The Encino Man guy. I'm come back in here in a bit. But he's also Jewish. A lot of comedians I know are Jewish or Italian. But, anyway, for Jon Lovitz. Okay, so Lovitz is definitely one of those very chill, laid back, kind of, comedian guys, similar to, say, Billy Crystal. And wisecracking. Jon Lovitz really shows up a lot of times in Adam Sandler's movies, whether or not he's one of the group or in, I think, 8 Crazy Nights of Hanukkah. He was in there. And he almost, whenever I see John in any movie, it's a pretty good chance something is going to happen to him, but it's not so great. But you just feel so bad for him because maybe, I don't know, I didn't see him when he was younger, but it's almost like he's not really that chubby, but it's like you want to, I don't know, it's very easy for me to feel sympathy towards John. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's not just that, but it's kind of like. So of course, there's another comedian with the big eyebrows. For some reason, I can't think of his name either. Played. Likes to play the second-rate slick lawyers. Something of Levi. I can't remember. Anyway. Well, so John also has a side to him where he can kind of play that shady-ish guy really, really well too, which is kind of funny. Okay. All these comedians are now coming to mind. And again, it's amazing how many comedians are actually Jewish. It's interesting, but so then you have Eddie Murphy. A little bit change back here to Afro-American guys. So what do you make of Eddie Murphy? Eddie Murphy was one of the most and one of the most innuendo and one of the most off-color stand-up comedians out there, but yet he also is very, 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 very funny. I think it's just there are certain comedians that are black, not just black, but there's definitely a class of comedians that are black that like to do kind of the thug, the tough guy, or the quick talking, boom, 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 thing, you know, high energy. That's kind of Eddie when he was younger, you know, but and he was really good. Eddie really is one of the top 10 comedians of all time. But again, he's, you know, there's so many, like Robin Williams is so, he's very, very high energy, Robin especially, but they're not always very clean what they joke about. So it's just, you know, it all depends on the person, of course. But yeah, I mean, like, kind of like, and this is where Eddie Murphy and Bill Cosby are somewhere. They both, like, a lot of their humor comes from observation of different things that can happen in life. Hey, like, so it's anecdotal stories and things, and the behavior of women. Yeah, and just different experiences they had. And it's a very rich, like gold mine for a lot of comedy. I mean, if you're a stand-up, I mean that's John Lovitz. You know, that's a lot of his stuff, and Billy Crystal. You know, a lot of folks that do stand-up. Okay, so Dave Chappelle is, in so many respects, you know, I would say Dave is in that same ballpark with Eddie Murphy, as far as, you know, black comedians. You could say one or the other is better. In some respects, Dave is one of the most relaxed of all stand-up comedians. Again, he's not always very clean, but he's very sincere. There's definitely a lot of good in that, much more so than many comedians. He's really, I totally be great talking to him. Either him or Eddie Murphy. You know, but Dave Chappelle is very relaxed. Has a very, very, you know, aw shucks, you know, kind of personality. And it comes through, and it's for real, you know, which is nice. Chris Tucker, I think I haven't really seen any stand up by him, and it's really kind of a lot of his reputation for me is writing on Rush Hour movies, plus a little bit of Fifth Element maybe, but he does a good job with having a very annoying voice, kind of like not Chris Rock. And he's not not thuggish, but he's kind of wacky guy that, you know, what the heck is going on? So he does a good job with the exaggerated voice and the high energy thing too. But this guy's own thing going on, and I like Chris Tucker. Yeah, he's a funny guy. So this is a little different. I think I'm this. So only reason I'm mentioning Randy Quaid is I think Randy Quaid is a little bit of a different breed. Clearly conservative. I've owned that by myself, but Randy's a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, I know, but you know, in some respects, I relate to him very, very well. I mean, I understand somewhat how he thinks, maybe. So I like Randy Quaid. He's just again a different breed and doesn't fit in at all with the Hollywood left, especially, but Hollywood in general. Like, Randy is much more home with the mountain men of the Mountain West, you know, on so many respects, you know. I don't know. Anyway, so yes, Randy, I like him as a person. He's a little odd. He has a funny side to him. You know, he's doing a lot of the National Lampoon movies, and I don't know. And, yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. But okay, so yeah, it's Cousin Eddie. You know, I don't know. I know that, you know, Chevy Chase had a lot of enemies. Can't imagine Randy Quaid and Chevy Chase really get along very well. So, yeah. Okay, Chris Rock. So, you know, Chris Rock. Some of these, yeah, with. You mentioned Chris Rock, and one of the first topics that comes to mind is what? Comedy that involves race, right? Racial things. I mean, really, I don't know why it comes up so quickly with Chris Rock. And there's many other comedians I can mention that, I don't know, it's Bernie Mac. I'm just not as familiar with Bernie Mac. Or Steve Harvey or Cedric the Entertainer. Some of these guys. I'm not as familiar with Richard Pryor either, other than the Superman 3 movie and working with Gene Wilder, and, these other kinds of things. And that one Wizard of Oz movie with Michael Jackson, where he was I just did not. Anyway, Chris Rock, he's been in Beverly Hills Cop briefly with Eddie Murphy, and I haven't seen Chris Rock in too many movies. I know he's part of the Adam Sandler gang, kind of. So, I just think Chris is a little bit one-dimensional in his humor. But the funny thing about Chris is, I actually think he's a pretty cool guy. He's a cool guy. But, even though he acts a little bit thuggish, has that, big teeth and that loud voice, and is sometimes off color, Chris Rock's actually a pretty cool guy. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. There's some other guys that, there's the Wayans brothers will get to them, and then there's Jamie Foxx, and there's some other guys that I should mention that, I don't know, similar trains of thought. Jamie Foxx is actually pretty funny too. I should mention him too. Anyway, it's similar, but I think Jamie Foxx is probably better. Funnier, a little funnier. Chris Rock is more someone I think that I would like to just hang out with. Fun. Yeah. I know he can be annoying in his way, but once you understand him, he's funny. So, okay. Andy Samberg. You want to say Sandberg? That's how you say Andy Samberg. Now, yes, he's big in SNL, and he occasionally shows up in an Adam Sandler movie, and I think he had this skit doing this really psycho, high energy guy. Samberg could still do more stuff. I think he's funny, but maybe he's not quite top 20. But he's actually pretty decent. It's pretty funny. I'll watch this stuff. Yeah, he's sort of middle of the road. Adam Sandler, I think I like Sandler myself more than most people. He's similar to me, and politically, and he's similar in many other respects. And he's a really goofy guy. And he's really a wild and crazy guy, right? Steve Martin. He has much more of a wild streak than me, but I like him. The off-color stuff if you have this off-color, it's really not too bad. And I know those do the Bachelor kind of stuff, the dumb humor, but when he does well. So, yeah. He's funnier than, in my opinion, in his group of funny guys he likes to make movies with. He's the best. He's the funniest, if not top 3 best or funniest guys. But he has that group of guys he likes to work with, and it's kind of fun to see that similar group kind of keep going on in his movies. And as I mentioned, is Kevin James, and Kevin. I've heard Kevin doesn't always treat his fans very well. And I don't know. Kevin's been in some decent movies, some funny movies. I just don't. If he treats his fans not so great, then Kevin's like, yeah, he's okay, but I just don't really think about it too much. But okay, anyway, I know Paul Blart, Mall Cop, I know. Okay, now speaking of not treating your fans very well, not treating very many people at all very well. This guy takes the cake. Apparently, Chevy Chase. Now, I've mentioned this before in a lot of some of the YouTube videos about Chevy Chase or his movies or whatever else, or interviews or anything like that. I've tried to understand him just via YouTube and what I've seen in movies. Tried to understand why people didn't like him so much. Why it's all this negativity about Chevy Chase, where he seems so pleasant, right? He's National Lampoon's Vacation. Oh, that other movie with Goldie Hawn, or was it? I get Goldie Hawn and Meg Ryan mixed up all the time, but I mean, he's in some really funny movies, and he does well. He was in Three Amigos with Steve Martin and Martin Short. I think that Chevy Chase is just very smug. Or he was smug to people around him, and it put off a lot of people. Or at least there was kind of a Chevy Chase club, and if you were in the club, then he was okay to you. But if you weren't in the club, I've read a lot of less than savory things about Chevy Chase when he was in SNL, of course. This is pretty common knowledge for anyone who's looked into this stuff. It said that John Belushi didn't always treat the scripts that woman wrote as equally or as equal effort as what his guy wrote it. Whatever John was ever guilty of, Chevy Chase was guilty of that hundreds of times over. Sounds like, but so there's a good chance if I knew Chevy Chase and I was on the outside looking in, I probably wouldn't like him that much at all. And so like most people, I'd probably be in the John Belushi, Bill Murray camp, right? Most everyone else that Chevy Chase seemed to kind of alienate a lot of people, but still, I think the man just is kind of prickly, porcupine a little bit sometimes, and I can't see having an eternal grudge against the man. But I do see him as being one of the most smug comedians on this group. A lot of people think he was very funny anyway. But he's the master of these cynical or sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. So he needs funny situations that he can kind of play off of, and that's why he wasn't very good. He's not very good at stand-up or at being a talk show host, because, especially stand-up, he could just bomb us. No, he needs to be in his element where he's, anyway. So, yeah. But he doesn't do cold turkey comedy as well. Ben Stiller, I think, very well of personality-wise. I think Ben's a great guy. He's awesome. Again, but he's actually pretty clean. Most of stuff is actually, he's actually one of the cleanest comedians. And I think, well, his dad as well. Of course, there's Zoolander. That's one of his big things. All kinds of other movies. The Dodgeball. There's kind of a Ben Stiller formula. Right? Again, the group with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Yes, you have the remake of Starsky and Hutch. Right. Ben Stiller's really a cool guy. So again, I don't think he's like top 10 or 20. He's not quite up there with Will Ferrell, for instance, but he's not too far away. He's pretty good. Damon Wayans and the Wayans brothers. It's Marlon Wayans, and I can't remember the others, but Damon, I think, is one of the funniest, probably the funniest Wayans brother. I mean, there's Major Payne, and there's, of course, the In Living Color, Homie the Clown, right? Yeah, Damon's funny. He's more than anything, though. I think the Wayans brothers are really nice. They're good guys, nice guys. Um, so I mean, like, it's very easy to see. It's very easy. They welcome you. It's a very welcoming kind of feeling that you get around the Wayans brothers. The whole family. So, thumbs up. Very funny. Very funny. Okay, Robin Williams. Well, okay, there's Jonathan Winters, right? There's a lot of these comedians that I'm not mentioning because I'm just not as familiar with them. Jonathan Winters, of course, there's a lot of Disney movies, perhaps, and other such similar kinds of movies. And so he's likable. Okay, so Jonathan Winters was in like the It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World, for instance. And yeah, I've seen him before and stuff, but just not as much of the comedian thing. I know he's one of the best comedians, perhaps, but a little bit earlier generation. Robin Williams was this hyper guy. Was very, very friendly, but very emotional, extremely just. I think kind of emotional roller coaster type guy. I know that I would get along well with him, but I can also just just a lot going on with him that didn't not many people really knew about. He had some complexity. He's very, very smart, very intelligent, profoundly so in some respects, especially in terms of comedy. But he's a very smart guy, very warm personality, and so in general, I think very well of Robin Williams. Of course, I know that he also did a lot of off-color stuff too, and his stand-up. I don't know. He is top 10, but a lot of people think he's. I don't know. They compare with Jim Carrey as kind of his rapid fire thing, just through the roof. And just ability just to go on these tangents is just like unbelievable. Just give him anything. He was amazing. Some people think, would say Robin Williams. Some people say Robin Williams is the best. Easily top 5. He'd be funnier than Bill Murray. Just blow him away. Or John Belushi. He's up there with Eddie Murphy. And funnier than Jim Carrey. Funnier than Will Ferrell, of course. Or, I don't know. I know I'm familiar with a lot of the comedians people tend to put in the top 5 or top 10. And a lot of people would put Robin Williams very, very high. I just think, on my own, if any of these folks aren't always like the first people I mentioned, it's usually because they have a fair bit of the humor that's tasteful. But Robin has a good heart, of course. And there's a lot more I can say about Robin Williams. I know everybody's still speculating about how he died and everything, so I don't want to get into that. Okay, so then you have George Carlin, someone who his humor is a little different sort, where I don't know what you call it. He was serious and he was being funny at the same time. Left-leaning, but very not establishment. He's very blunt. I mean, like he didn't care what people thought of what he said. Blunt is blunter than, but also kind of crude, and so a lot of people that are in my social circles will say majority of people probably don't watch a lot of George Carlin, but he had some pretty good monologues and things. Really, that's what it is. It's stand-up, but it's more of a monologue thing. Kind of. He does very well with stand-up because it just works. And he would kind of mock the joke, the telling the joke thing, right? Or the anyway, that's George Carlin. He's really unique that way, but So then you have Andy Kaufman, and I am not gonna right now try to figure out his unique brand of humor. It's just kind of late right now, but he's very boy, and people like to compare him to what's his name? George McFly, the guy who played George McFly. Oh. Yes, Andy Kaufman's very smart. He's a master of having alternate personas and trick, mind trip type stuff, and I don't know. I can't pretend to understand him, but odd, yeah, he's odd, of course. Crispin Glover, okay. So a lot of people have probably seen connections between Andy Kaufman and Crispin Glover. If anything, Crispin Glover was very inspired by Andy Kaufman to have certain personas, like just at least to act in certain ways, unlike David Letterman, right? Okay, I don't know if you've seen the episodes and the videos, but by all means see them. I think well of Andy, of course, but the question is, who was Andy Kaufman? That's always just keeps his. Anyway, just a really interesting guy. Okay, Harold Ramis. Well, in the same breath of mentioning Bill Murray, John Candy, John Belushi, and Dan Aykroyd, and you can mention, yes, Harold Ramis. So Harold Ramis is a funny guy, and I think he had that comic side to him, but I think he was probably even better. He was in Ghostbusters. Maybe he excelled better at the directing a little bit, or script writing. I don't know. He was kind of a versatile guy, I think. Maybe he wasn't one of the top shining stars, but he was actually pretty, he could hold his own. But yeah, I mean, I love Harold Ramis. I love him. He's great guy. Bill Burr is also kind of off color, but very chummy. One of the younger comedians, somewhat. There's a guy who is, as far as Mexican, right? There's Carlos Mencia, Maida Mencia. He does the racial humor. I know, but there's some other guys that. The chubby guy that I can't remember his name, but he's okay. He's pretty good. Some of his names I can't remember offhand. And yes, I think it's George Lopez. Yeah, but fluffy guy. I can't remember his name, but anyway. So Russell Peters, basically know about him via YouTube. East Indian comedian. He's pretty good. Most of the stuff is fairly clean. Yeah, he's actually pretty good. Yeah. Steve, but he's kind of, a lot of his stuff, a lot of his shtick is kind of like the Axis of Evil comedians, right? Just some comedians from the Middle East. He likes to do the cultural, funny humor between, like, for instance, the Chinese guy and the Indian guy trying to do business. Right? So a lot of his humor is based on that kind of stuff. Or just likes to poke fun at his own country, sometimes, India. He's from Canada, but Indian descent. Steve Odekirk. Not a lot of people know about him. Mainly it's the Jim Carrey thing with Steve Odekirk, but okay, there's Kung Pao Under the Fist, and then Steve Odekirk worked with Jim Carrey on the mainly it was the Ace Ventura movie. But Steve is a really funny guy. I just think maybe he's not quite as well known. I know he can. What he does, he likes to do his thing. Anyway, so Jackie Chan, Rush Hour, mainly. This other movies, like, Jackie Chan's kind of, he's fun to watch. I don't know if he's just like one of the top funniest guys, but he's up there. He's someone that I think we'll love. I know he said things about China. I won't get into all that. It's fine. He has a point. We don't get into that right now. Okay. Steve Carell. Yeah. That's thumbs up. I know he's in the Will Ferrell camp, kind of, along with, what's his name? It's basically the Office guys. Anyway, it's all the but Steve Carell. I mainly like him. It was Anchorman, I think, was his big thing, and also the Noah movie. And, yeah, he's pretty good. Anyway, Eric Idle and John Cleese from Monty Python, both really good. John Cleese, definitely the sort of person that very animated with his face, big smile, big eyes, like hello. I don't know, John Cleese. I can't do it. The guy, thing. I don't know, but it's like hello. It makes you feel really good or something. Eric Idle, also very much someone I think that has a great sense of humor and really fun guy to be around. The whole group, I think. But with Monty Python, 6 of them, John Cleese is, he's just so tall, but he's kind of a little bit more. I picture the guy that's doing the Ministry of Funny Walks thing, with John Cleese, just kind of a little bit dopey and big smile. I know I've heard about his temper as well, but he tries not to show it. And, he's a good man. And the political things, whatever. So Eric Idle, perhaps even more approachable than John in a way, but they're both really fun guys. And then of course you have all the other guys. Brain freeze right now. I know who they are. Well, there's the blonde guy. He's kind of a straight man, Monty Python. Oh, Chapman, I think. And then that funny guy. Just can't think right now. Well, you have Jones and I can't think of. I know each of the. I know each of them. I just can't think of the names right now. But I think the big two are Eric Idle and John Cleese, more or less. Graham Chapman. Yeah. Anyway. So I'll wrap this up here. We're going kind of long here in this video. Rowan Atkinson. Oh yeah, very good too. Mr. Bean, big fan. And George Burns. In some respects, my favorite guys. Just think very, very well of him. Cigar smoker, old guy, but very much vaudeville era. Kind of really cool guy. And then Jerry Lewis, similar kind of deal there. So again, coming back, a lot of comedians are Jewish. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, so these are some of my favorite comedians. But who are the best comedians of all time? I know some of these guys would probably be often considered top 10. Probably, maybe Jerry Lewis is up there. And I know his early generation, I know his earlier kind of humor, maybe with some of the stuff. But it's Jerry Lewis. Probably Robin Williams. And Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey, Martin Short. Yeah, it's Martin Short for me. Yeah, Bill Cosby. Yeah, Martin Short. Martin Short. Not Bill's, but just more of heartwarming. You know. But yeah, and then John Belushi, Bill Murray. If I had to pick a 10th one, maybe of this group would probably be Andy Kaufman. No, for me, I don't know. Maybe Chris Farley. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully, just leave me your thoughts and comments below. Hope you guys like this video. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.